G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, and the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. The game has just finished, and it finishes Nottingham Forest 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Well, it was an interesting old game actually. It was a battle. It was a real tussle out there. Forest were, I'll say physically more intense than us for periods of the game. Not dirty or anything like that, but robust. Kept us off our game a little bit, but I think our quality was just too much in the end. Ben Davies had a really good game. That's his second in a row, but he was reading the game really well actually. He was getting in the right position to make tackles high up in the pitch. Vicario made some great saves, particularly like that first one in the first half where Nottingham Forest players in the clear, and you can see Vicario, he sees the player running, he thinks, okay, that's where he's going to take his shot from, so I'm going to position myself here. Got it spot on, nice and calm head. He knew where the player was going to run to and where he was going to engage with the ball again, so that was real smart goalkeeping from Vicario. We had a couple of cards given, and look, I'm not going to moan about referees' decisions, but I mean, is that what we're giving cards for these days? The Udogie one, oh God, there was nothing in that at all. Yellow card, my arse. So we miss him for the next game, and unfortunately, Yves Bissouma. And look, football isn't played in slow motion. It's not played in like a Groundhog Day repeat rinse cycle of half a second that you just go bang, 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 bang. So we know whenever the referee gets called over to the screen on the side, it's always given. It's always a red card. I think that was so harsh for that one. Where he's making his challenge, the ball could have been, I know I might sound like I'm making excuses, but footballers don't have reflexes of a nanosecond. It was reasonable, the ball's going to be there. Oh no, it's not. I don't think it was even followed through with much strength and intensity onto that player. But there you go, referee's decision. What can you say? Well, the referee's decision was a yellow card. It was those bean counters at Stockley Park that got themselves involved again. And we went down to 10 men. But anyway, prior to all that, I've just watched the game. As usual, I haven't been watching any Spurs fans things, so I don't know what the word on the street is. In the first half, as it was going along, I was starting to think, is this going to be a 0-0 draw? Is this going to be where it just, it's not like we were playing badly or anything like that, but there was something kind of being nullified. And I think it was, like I said, I think Nottingham Forest, but just a shade more intense than us. And intensity can get you a lot in football games. And sure got them a lot today. Their home crowd was, it was a tough old atmosphere for Tottenham at playing that, because the Nottingham Forest fans certainly were up for it, singing real loudly. I think that gave their team a bit of extra impetus. But it was for nigh on nothing when Dejan Kulusevski, beautiful cross through to Richarlison, and Richie got the right amount of his head on it, and it was a great goal. And that's what we looked like. It looked like we weren't playing the counter-attack because we were having lots of possession, but when we decided, okay, it's time to go, boys, it's time to go, and that's what we did really well. The second goal, Kulusevski, he had a lot of time, and I'm thinking, he's going to do his same old thing. He's just going to, shoot at the goalkeeper, which he did. But luckily for us, it was Nottingham Forest goalkeeper in, and he completely fluffed it. So he should have been doing a bit more research on Kulusevski, because that's what he does every time. But it was a good goal. So 2-0, that bought us a bit of space, down to 10 men. And we didn't really hold on. We carried on playing our style of football. Now, I know I'm going backwards and forwards. This is how my brain works after a game. Brennan Johnson, unfortunate head knock. Looks like it's not serious though, it's just a gash on his head. Says me. I'll be going, no, it's not serious, just a gash on his head. It's nothing, isn't it? Nothing. And Postecoglou brought on Skip as a replacement, and I think that was to get us a bit more physical you know, a bit less flair, a bit more physical, and it seemed to do the job. Skip was all right. There was a bit where in the second half he was going off on a goal by himself, and I don't know, bless him, he put the cross in when maybe he should have had a shot. But yeah, he did an all right job today, Skip. And I when we went 2-0 up, Nottingham Forest, for all the intensity they had, they just didn't have it up front, did they? They didn't have any. They just didn't seem to have ideas, and we were regularly outpacing them. Romero and Ben Davies really held quite tight at the back. They had good games. Pedro Porro had another amazing game, despite his phantom ankle injury in the first half, where I've been tackled. I'm in so much pain. It hurts so much. And then it seemed to be fine when he had the ball, but every time, it's a weird injury. Every time he didn't have the ball, I've got the ball. So, and one of the Nottingham Forest players did that. I think he was trying to imply that, I think Ben Davies gave him a karate chop in the throat, which was nothing of the sort. It was just a flappy arm on his chest. But for minutes after, the Forest player was going up to the referee, I can hardly breathe. My trachea, I might need a biro and a penknife in a minute. Help me. It's like, come on. So lots of theatrics, which all adds to the spice of the game. And look, this leaves in it was a good battled, hard-fought win. It was pretty entertaining, hard venue to take a result away in, and we picked up the 2 points. I'll have a look at the Dreamo-meter. I think we lost against Forest last year, but I missed the game earlier, so the Dreamo-meter is still on 71 points for points gained, but for pro rata points, it's gone up. I think it's gone up to 74 now. You take the number of points we've won, divided by the number of games, times it by 38. It's creeping up. So 74 this time. So 71 on one hand and 74. If I was to take an educated guess at the moment, I'd say we're heading for around about low 30s by the end. Low 80s by the end of the season. I'm sort of factoring in. We've got a couple of suspensions for the Everton game. When January comes around and AFCON, we're going to have a weakened squad, so we might have another pocket of losses or bad results or whatever. So I reckon, look, we got 60 points last year, so to be in terms of talking mid-70s upwards in one season is amazing. I just heard a little bit of Gary Neville there before I ran upstairs to do my review, and he's right. So what Postecoglou's done in such a short space of time, you can see the way we're playing, even though some of our execution is off now and then, but that's what happens in football. You don't have it all your own way. Forest really did their part today in disrupting us, but you can see Spurs are playing with an identity, and we are razor sharp. When we go on attack, we scare the crap out of these other teams. We absolutely flood their penalty box. They don't know what to do. We come at them. It's like a charge over the hill, except it's a flat pitch, but it must be quite intimidating for players on opposing teams seeing all that. But you know, it was a good win, 2-0, puts us level on points with Manchester City, who apparently are in a title race. I think Spurs are as well at the moment. I think it's anybody's at the moment. Anyone's. Aston Villa, Liverpool, not Arsenal, they'll choke. Man City, I don't think are going to be in it. I think, look, at this stage of the season, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Tottenham. There's my 3 title challengers at the moment. But of course, anyone's in it at the moment. Probably even, I don't know, Burnley are in it. There's still mathematically a chance of winning the title. But a good game. Looking forward to the next one. Down on personnel again, but we're playing Everton, so it's a winnable game. 2 games in a row, 2 wins in a row. Enough of that losing streak. Onwards and upwards, man. It was a good win today. You had to really fight for that one, boys. Looking forward to the next game. Peace and love, man, and come on, you Spurs.